second one is your society or whatever in that needs and unneeds. Okay, that is the way you have to plan. Then anybody is interested in that? I am interactive section only. I am asking whatever you know, you will tell it. Dealing with finance globally also. Okay, you are telling that is the one point is also. I didn't prepare any PowerPoint, anything. So I'm talking finance globally. Then any other points? You have to enhance enabling environment for government. Okay, that is finance globally means. Okay, enhanced enabling environment for government to develop, implement, monitor, and evaluate. Okay, the develop, implement, monitor, and evaluate gender responsibility. That policies, plans, programs, and projects. Okay, what are the policies there? Okay, that is policies, plans, programs, and projects at the national and local levels. Okay, that is the way you have to plan it. Okay, policies, plans, programs, and projects at the national and local levels. If you want to share any points, okay, you will share it. First, I told in the strategy is planning, then programming and budgeting, implementation, monitoring, and evaluations. Then your plan is also policy based. So conduct policy studies and reviews regulations to integrate women's and gender concerns. Then any other, that planning means I already told in the 3 way, similar to any other points. This is interactive session. Let's start with some points we'll discuss. Then plans is also 3-way I told, and monitors. I want an interactive session. We'll discuss some other, you are tell some other points, we'll discuss it. So next thing is monitors I told. Monitors and assess the implementation of laws and policies on women, including international treaties and conferences. Another thing is the monitors I told that implementation of laws and policies on women. Similar to undertakes continuing advocacy to promote women's economic, social and political empowerment. Then any other points? Tell me that monitors wise. Monitor point of view. Any other points is that? You are interactive with whatever your in your life, anything? Or some participants introduce yourself. Sorry, ma'am. Banu, you will unmute Bhuvneshwari, madam.
Okay, am I audible, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam. Very good morning to the participants and the coordinators of this program, online FTP program. I am Dr. Bhuvneshwari Mariyappan. I am working as a assistant professor senior grade in Anna University, Tiruchirappalli. Venkata Kirthiga ma'am might remember me, I think so, because earlier I attended that Breaking the Glass Ceiling program with Venkata Kirthiga ma'am and her team, very active team. And actually, when I look into that program sponsored by Attal, and when I saw the name of Venkata Kirthiga ma'am, I thought definitely this is going to rock. Definitely this is going on, madam. Madam, yesterday the sessions were very interesting.
Really, thank you so much for the expectation.
Yes, madam. Madam, we have gone to that NCRB banana research. Do you remember me?
Yes.
Yes.
I was guessing, ma'am, but I couldn't identify properly.
Okay. Don't worry. You see all the pictures. You see that green color side. That is me, Bhuvaneshwari. And I gave that speech also on the winding up day. No, I think then.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Really, for women, you're doing much better, madam. Definitely for each and every year, you're progressing. That too, NIT Trichy is progressing very much. And yesterday, I was very much moved by the speech of our director, madam. Thomas, madam, really amazing, and she was giving all the information wholeheartedly, and I don't know how she was able to give all the required tips for a woman to excel in her academic career as well as to rise or transform as a administrator. Definitely, that is awesome, madam, and I saw the speakers also, madam. You very meticulously planned the speakers, and really, you're doing a very good work, and I want to appreciate that one, madam. And another thing, today we are discussing about the women economy. Of course, Maheshwari madam is also doing better. Regarding this one, I just want to share a little bit thing. I don't know, many of you might be knowing this or not, but in our earlier days, when we are in childhood days, no, our grandparents, what they'll do is that they'll do small savings. What is called sirvaadன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, சின்ன savings சொல்லி சொல்லுவாங்க. Small savings. On those days, people will not go to the bank very often. Okay, so they'll do small savings. And what I learned is that when the recent demonetizations occurred, okay, these type of small savings helped a lot to very poor families and most of the middle class families also. So women in economy is not new to the, it's not a new topic. As a tradition, we have been doing that right from our childhood days, and we have been witnessing all these things right from childhood days. Might be today we can say that this could have taken another leap or another step. That is my uh, view on this women economy, madam. And hope I'm expecting all the sessions to be very different, because I've seen the speakers also very different speakers, and I hope I'll enjoy the session, madam. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much,
Thank you
madam.
so much.
Yeah.
So here I have an issue, so I have switched my camera, and when he touch, I'll just try and switch it on. So as Mahesh pointed it when she was telling me, rightly said that this is going to be an interactive session, and she had given 3 areas. So the first one is from home, and the next one is to the next level, like any professional domain or something like that. And then the third one is to the society. So let us align towards these three for, as the topic for today. And
Yeah, madam.
so
Yes,
here,
and along with that, we'll just share why. We all know that the Indian Constitution itself being drafted by the help of 15 women, and that being unnoticed. So, if women are very strong in economy, policy making will have a great impact with the inclusion of women. So the idea being women in economy is all about the policy making and changes for the betterment of women. So as VK ma'am mentioned, it is interactive session where people can pour all your inputs in this. Okay, madam, shall we go to the session?
yeah. So
Yes.
to start
Yeah.
with Dr. I have few questions, and I want our participants to just answer. So I think we can proceed from that point. Okay.
Yes, madam. Yes. So, madam, yeah, and also the participants, I would like to give the first question like, see, women contribute approximately 17 to 18% of the total GDP, and we also know that when it comes to agriculture, that is the farming sector or the dairy sector, in the women's contribution is very high. But if you talk about the other sectors, and also the due to the very fast growth of being the urbanized behavior, we can find that more women are not encouraged to join the workforce. So, but even now, India contributes the meager amount, which is the lowest in the world, where only 25% of India's labor force is there. But when you look at the NITI Aayog report, where India at 75, you can see the gender parity. So government is taking many steps for making the women inclusive of all the policies. So that is what government is trying to bridge the gap. So yesterday when Professor Mini Ma'am or the entrepreneur Mrs. Sylvia, whomever talked regarding that, have given a gist of a summary of what it is all about. So the idea is, now it is just 25%, right? In case if it becomes 50% contribution of women, the value rise from India's growth can rise from 1.5% to 9%. So just look the rise, an immediate rise from 1.5 to 9% a year. So these are the aspects where the key points that has to be noticed, and so that is why we need fund for women. So when we talk about this Atal workshop by itself, government has funded for this noble cause, empowering women. So empowering women does not mean in one particular sector. If you take the report, if you take the report of how many of them are awarded PhD in economics, so you can see there is a different side of women getting the PhD, but women are not effective in policy making. So this sector is one kind of aspect where women needs to get inside. women needs to hold the power. Women should be an administrator and women should directly be there in the policy making. So that is how the women inclusion has a proper value. So I think VK ma'am can add questions to this and just relate to this. Madam, you're there?
You continue now.
Yeah. So, and we should know the just a minute, ma'am. Ma'am is the call.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Audible?
Yeah, fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Banu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Josephine, I have
Yes,
some set
madam.
of questions. So we'll start like it's like a survey or a quiz or whatever
Yes,
we can
yes,
call.
yes,
Then
yes,
I
madam.
can
We'll start. So, based on the inputs that I've given, how can we make the rest of 25% of women join the workforce? What can be done to make the country's growth can that scale from 1.5 to 9% here? So, what are the different aspects where we can get more fund for women? So, these are the questions, 3 questions I put forth. I want the participants to answer.
Yeah. So can we have the answers quickly because I have a long survey. So once we get answers from the participants for these questions, then we can proceed with the survey.
Yes, yes. Please chat in the chat box so that ma'am, after a quick reply for all these things, madam will move to the survey, the statistics of the women in economy.
Yeah. Ms. Bharati Sharma has replied as include women.
Include women. Yes. How effectively we can include women? There are give more opportunities. Then few more answers.
Give more opportunities. Timelines can be fixed. Very good.
Education, very good. Education, knowledge transfer, encourage and motivate women. The best part of many people don't do that. Equitable distribution of resources, accessibility, rebuilding livelihoods. Okay. Awareness on government schemes. Yes, an important point. See, many of us don't know that there are many government schemes where women can apply for. There are very few government schemes, only a few of us know, and most of them don't know what are the government schemes. So awareness can be given on the government schemes. Dignified work, awareness and accepting. Then, any other answers? If women wanted to promote, so I have one more question. So just I wanted the reply from the same. If women wanted to contribute economically, shouldn't be women contributing socially? Are they? Yes. So a social cause can move a woman from being economically contributed to a greater extent. So women being socially involved, like you or me. See, we're all here for a social cause, right? We're all here to empower women. The ultimate thing is women needs empowerment. Educated women needs awareness. So these are the 2 aspects we should focus on. And yes, exactly. Yes. So being educated women, the awareness is the mandatory thing. So many of us, even educated women do not have awareness. So the first step is work socially. Yes, exactly. Yes, Dr. Tamil Chelvi. When we take part in the society, economic status will gradually improve. So that is the truth. That is the truth. So far I've been saying the statistics, some numbers, maybe 17 to 18%, 1.5% to maybe 9%, and I've talked about the number of being 25% to 50% moving into it. But we all can do that only if we socially participate in it. And I would like to mention what Professor Vinny Madam has told. Grab the opportunity, involve in the opportunity that is you are being given, or make yourself engaged in the work that you are being called for. Accept a task. So accept a task. Now, being women, all the coordinators here, or let it be all the participants here, we're all here for a noble cause. You all want something to get out of this workshop, because we all know that we're all stressed. We look both the families and the working place. It's a 50-50 balance all what we have. So taking parts in socially can improve the women economically. So yeah, yes. Yes, government schemes for women. Exactly. Yeah. Yesterday, Sylvia ma'am given the beautiful session on the various government schemes of being an entrepreneur. So everybody, in spite of having a regular time work, everybody of them can even become an entrepreneur. Yeah. So I think these are the initial kick-starting process of women being into economy, right? Yes. Over to you, madam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the excellent intro, which is really a platform for the progress. Yeah, so still we are getting answers like Mega Kolkar has told, reducing societal pressure on women to take up major responsibilities. Excellent. See, we have lots of societal and family-based pressures. So be it married or unmarried, young or mid-level or senior, whoever it is. So we do have some willingness, but how many of us are, voluntarily getting, a complete freedom to work with our, plans, right? So that is what actually, that is what actually very, very important. Fine. So now I have some set of questions. So it's not like I don't want you people to answer it in the chat box. So please take a sheet of paper and pen. You can even put the question number, and then you can just say yes or no. That's it, right? So it's going to be like a small refreshing game. So just write the questions, and you can just write yes or no. This is something like a self-evaluation, because we need not worry about what other people think of us, or what is going to be my score out of 10, and what it means to others. It's none of the business. We want to evaluate our own capacity and where we stand. So that is very, very important as far as women empowerment is concerned. So let me just pose one by one the questions. So please, I'll just give you 1 minute time. You can please take one sheet of paper and a pen. And as soon as I give you questions, if you want, you make a note of the question. Else, you can just write the question number, and you can just write yes or no. So finally, when you count the number of S's and the number of no's, it is just going to help you to evaluate where you are, and from here, how you have to proceed. So it's all up to you. It's your self-esteem, and it's going to be up to you who is going to decide where you are now and where you want to be, say, after 5 years or after 10 years or whatever is your timeline, right? Because I remember one of our chief guests was telling some timeline. And now even one of the participants was mentioning about timeline and fixtures, right? So quickly, can I have the participants be ready with a sheet of paper and a pen? Okay, so I'm going with the flow suggested by Dr. Mageshwari and Dr. Josephine, my colleagues. So first question is, how many of you contribute towards your family finance? What I mean is, you may do some startup, you may earn, right? Going outside the house or within the house, you can do some small business. You can work in a organized sector or an unorganized sector, whatever it is. Just write yes or no. Do you contribute to your home finance management? Just say yes or no. Not necessary to type in the chat box or anywhere. Just write in your sheet of paper, just yes or no. I'll give you enough time because I have a long list of questions. So this is the first question. I hope you all understood. If you have any doubt, you can type in the chat box or you can raise so that we would proceed with the next question. So first question is, how many of you contribute? I mean, do you contribute to your home finance? Yeah. Next question is, I think we can go to the next question. Do you decide your family budget? Do you decide your family budget? Do you decide your family budget? This is question number 2. Question number 3. Do you suggest your family budget? Do you give your suggestions, right? Be it a budget of day-to-day affairs, or be it a budget of monthly affairs, or you may have a very pleasant event to be conducted in your house, right? I say, please don't think like you are the head of the family, right? You may have your mother-in-law, or you may have your mother, or you may have an elder co-sister. So no matter, right? Or you may be unmarried, or you may be doing a course, you may be a student. My point is your suggestion considered in a family budget, be it a day-to-day affairs, or be it a marriage or a birthday party, or whatever it is being organized in your house? Are you given an option to give your suggestions? Because decision not necessarily always to take, right? Because sometimes your counterpart may take a better decision, and if that is acceptable, you should respect it, right? I don't mean to say here that you have to decide everything. No. But is your suggestion given consideration or importance in your own family budget? So that's what the question. So try to please understand the question and give yes or no. This is your question number 3. Question number 4. Do you drive? It can be any vehicle, maybe 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler, whatever it is. Do you drive? This is
Ma'am,
question
that
number
is a very beautiful question, and I enjoy this question.
Yeah.
So when we look at a woman driving, that everybody wanted to look at it with awe. It's so nice. So that is a very interesting question, madam.
Yeah, see, I do drive 4-wheeler, but I would like to share some funny moments as well, because I learned driving almost 10 years back, right? So my father is always supportive in all these. So whenever I completed my 18, I got my 2-wheeler license. Even before that, I used to drive, without gear, LMV, but without gear. But whenever I completed 18, immediately he took steps and guided me to take license. So now I have renewed my license. You won't believe. So then whenever I completed my post-graduation, we had a car in our house, and I went to driving school and I learned. But the problem is, after getting a license, I was not given the car to drive And first reason I accept because it was out of fear, right? And the second reason is there was no necessity, right? You don't have a necessity now. I'm talking about the perception of the family. You don't have a necessity now. When necessity comes, you can drive, and now you're not supposed to drive. So I was much more hurt inside, and then I was just waiting for a suitable situation. And when I joined in NIT, it's Dr. Mageshwari's husband had an opportunity to go abroad. So they had a car here, and it was a brand new Alto. So till now, I feel proud to say everybody that really you should have a very good heart to give your brand new car to a person who doesn't know how to drive. Of course, the person has a driving license. So there
That
was
is a beautiful opportunity. That was a beautiful opportunity. I like this
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, and I still remember the day because on that day, madam also was not knowing to drive, and I knew only the procedure. It was just a theoretical knowledge. I didn't have much of practical knowledge. And her husband had gone for a offshore assignment, and her son was ill. So we had an emergency. We didn't know whom to call. So just like that, madam took the car and just she took a reverse, and looking at that, because she was a very much beginner. So looking at that, I got tensed and I thought, no, this is the time to get into field. And I told, see, you are in tension. Your son is not feeling good. So you just change the seat, I'll drive. And then we just took the car and went to hospital. And it was that day when I realized what I learned from the driving school was really excellent, and my coach was really excellent. And because after a long gap, I was able to drive safely without hitting anywhere and without hitting anybody. And that was the moment when I was just put into the field, and she started to give her car at least once in a 2 days, and we used NIT campus to learn. And now you won't believe my car, I'm very confident, and many male colleagues and male friends, they are appreciating. So somewhere inside, I just tap on my shoulder. Okay, you have done something different. And this is the positive part. And that's a funny part. Like when I first went to a petrol bunk, right? I took my car first time because before that, I'm unmarried and my father used to fill petrol and give me. So every weekend I used to go home and he used to take care of all that. But it was one time that when I took my car first time to the nearby petrol bunk near NIT, I was just waiting. There was a long two-wheeler queue, so I was just waiting. You know, I didn't ask any help. One guy came running and he said, Madam, the petrol tank is in the left side. So you just turn this side and come. And there was till this it was not a mistake, but it didn't hurt me. But there was a mysterious smile in his face, and he was just smiling like, even without knowing this, she's driving. So that made me I took it funny way because I just don't want everybody to give me certificate, but I really took it in a funny way. But why I'm quoting here is, see, it is a perception. We are in 21st, 22nd century. We send girls to, outside Earth, and they are going to space. They are driving they are being pilots. They are driving even commercial flights. But still, there are people who just look at, and if you just try driving a sedan or a XUV, then you will have more eyebrows rising up, as though you have been driving it, you are just flying in a parachute. People still just look at you. There are 2 points of view. One is you feel high about it and you should really feel happy that you're making somebody else to raise their eyebrows. But the other side, when these people will change, when my country will have a different outlook upon a woman, because I'm not worried about abroad, because I'm not interested to settle in foreign, or I just want to visit. That's it. So I'm worried about my own people in my own country, in my own locality. I want to do something which can change, which can just accept. I don't want me to be celebrated. I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want to be, boasted. I don't want to say that I'm superior to a man. Definitely not. I have the maturity to understand the differences in the gender. So something cannot be done by a man, which can be done by a woman, and vice versa is absolutely true. Something which can be done by a man, a male touch, cannot be done by a woman. Even if you do, there won't be the male touch. We have to understand that differences. But still people, they have some gender discrimination, and the stereotype is there in the mindset. And it is slowly changing. I won't say that it's very very old. It's slowly changing because I know many of my friends, they accept openly that my wife drives better than me. So there are many male friends who openly tell among their own peer group even, right? Among men, they just share that my wife drives better than me. What is there in it? It's a car and she knows to handle. So it is changing that slowly, but still the society needs a lot of change and there is a long way to go. So that is the only thing which I want. That is why I posted this question, because this is, as Dr. Josephine
So
said,
to add your answer, to summary, the gist of the point is necessity is the mother of invention. We have to be independent no matter what the world thinks on us. We should be unique in all the way. If we change, automatically the world changes. That's it. Right, ma'am?
yeah, thank you. So I think I have taken much of time for one question. So quickly we'll go to the question number 5. My question number 5 is, do you drive with your family? The other way to put the question is, do your family members believe you and travel at peace with you? Is my voice okay? Because there is a comment that your voice is breaking.
Fine, ma'am.
Fine, madam. We could hear. Maybe madam can join again. I think she can just leave the meeting and join back. We are fine with the voice, madam. There is no breaking voice.
Thank you, thank you. So my next question, question number 5 is, do you drive with your family? That is, does your family travel with you peacefully, believing you? And I'll come back to this question because there is a point. I have not just framed questions just like that. There is a point in it. I'll discuss this later. Fine. Now, question number 6. How many of you contribute to the healthcare department of your house? Or straight away, do you contribute towards the healthcare department of your house? What I mean to say, if someone falls sick, are you approached to go and do the nursing which is required at office, at hospital or at house? So do you? Very good. I'm getting an answer. Dr. Shweta Singh has told us, I drive with my family confidently. You can just give a tap on your back. So I think this is question number 6, right? Yeah. Now, question number 7. Do you own any assets? See, please don't include jewelry in this because Indian women are obsessive of gold and precious stones and whatnot, right? So see, let us not go into the argument whether that is good or bad, it's required or not. That's not our job today. So let us not get into that. Please don't include precious jewelry in this. Other than jewelry, do you own assets in your name? Yeah, movable or immovable both. This is question number 7. Question number 8. See, this is a different question. We do attend functions, family functions or official functions. Leave out your official functions, right? Friends and official functions, please don't think of it. When you have a family function, when you go to a family function, at times, right? Not necessarily always, at times, do you finance gifts? Right? Say, for example, I'll try to elaborate. Maybe if you're married, you're going with your husband to your family function, right? At times, Do you come forward, or is it a usual casual practice that just you spend from your own pocket? And of course, discussing with your husband, you discuss with your husband what can be the budget for the gift and what can be the choice, everything. And at times, at least, do you spend, right, to gift somebody representing your family? That's what the point here. See, of course, if you're going to the birthday party of your friend, it's you who is going to spend. And if you're going to a function from your office, of course, it's you who is going to spend, right? So, see, don't think that the person who is involved in the marriage function is your relative or his relative. I'm not entering into that point, right? It is just a family function, right? So, do you always expect your husband to finance a gifting, or is it you who just, very good. It's always been sharing basis. It's excellent answer that shows how friendly you guys are, but just say yes or no. The next is a personal question. Do you gossip? Question number 9. Do you gossip? Do you gossip? And one final question. Do you talk about economics and politics? Very good. This question does not have a binary answer. Excellent. Okay, I'll come to these questions, right? So now, the last question for today's survey. Do you talk about economics and politics? It can be at any level. Say it can be at international politics, national politics, anything, state level, whatever it is. Fine. I think we have come to an end. So now just, this is a set of 10 questions. Now just count your yes and no. Okay. See, you can just pat yourself if you have more S's than no. Suppose you have 6 out of 10, it is 60%. 7 out of 10 is 70%, right? So it's up to you. I think Bhuvaneshwari Maripan has shared 7 yes and 3 no, but it's up to you. I don't want the answers, right? So 7 yes, very good. So this is merely for your self-evaluation. So now I'll just try to explain the background, right? Yeah, very good. 9 out of 10. I think you are all already empowered. And so this is
And they are getting S grade, madam. S grade in this 9 by 10.
Excellent. Excellent. So I think it's going to be a cakewalk for the coordinators. So we need not, our responsibility has been brought down. So I think we can just chill out in this workshop. All are already empowered women, and even we have a lot more to learn from them. I hope so. You can just have a very good appreciation. So now let me come to the background of framing these questions. I simply didn't throw these questions. So you just to see question number 1 and 2. I have asked, do you contribute to your home finance and do you decide your budget, right? So you see, there is a headline difference between these two. This is my experience, but I'm not sure whether you would accept it or not. See, sometimes I do feel this mid-career people, right, in your 30s to 40s, we are almost in the mid-level. We earn good, right? But still there are women who don't have the economic freedom, right? But if you compare ourselves with our senior generation, right? Our mothers and mother-in-laws, many of them did not go out of the house and they did not earn money, right? They were completely dependent on their husband. I mean, initially upon their father and then upon the husband and then upon the sons and daughters. But if you look at, they have a lot of economic freedom than us who are really coming out of the house, managing both and then earning. But still there are people who completely transfers the salary to the husband or the father. There are people even before marriage, they give their complete salary to the parents and then they get money as a pocket money and then they say, I need this much for my monthly expenses, and the parents or the brothers or whoever it is, they just plan all the savings, right? Always let us not accuse the spouse, right? So that's why I'm highlighting this point, because I do have life experiences and I have examples who are my close friends who do this even when they stay unmarried. But if you compare, even the husband earns and if the wife is managing completely, most of our father-in-laws and fathers, they didn't ask, what is your necessity? Why do you ask this much money? If the wife says, I need 1,000 rupees, there were people who completely believed their counterpart and they say, see, she is not going to throw it off somewhere. She'll be having a justifiable reason. You manage your finance, right? Many times I have thought of it, whether we are not that bold. We seem to be bold. We seem to be more empowered, and are we not really? Or the other way, affirmative question, are we really? So we need to think about it and discuss, because this is a good platform for that. So what is lagging in that, right? Say, I don't say that you have to take an upper hand in your family finance or whatever it is. That's not my point, right? Because I always think just 10 women joining together and accusing a man or accusing the manhood is not empowerment. We are not joined here for that, right? We have to see where we lag and we have to find out how to bridge this gap, and that is the real empowerment. So rather than just making a dais and keeping a mic and saying that women is superior, women is Shakti, women is this, that, none of us want it. That's not going to help us, right? The real evaluation comes like, we have to see, why are we not accepted by our counterpart, right? See, sometimes we are not given the respect which we deserve, or we are not accepted. Why? Right? So what lacks in us, or where do we miss, right, the expectation of the society? What I mean by society is just a combination, right? It can be other women counterpart, it can be other men, it can be children. So where do we lack and how can we patch it up in such a way that we improve our self-esteem? So that is what should be that is where the theme. See, your signature is your identity. Add value to your signature. And rightly pointed out by Dr. Minisha Ji Thomas in her lecture, see, don't expect any reservations or don't expect any special privileges because you're a woman, right? There are privileges already given. You do have maternity leave. If you are in government sector, in central government, you do have childcare leave. Take that. When you are availing your childcare leave or maternity leave, spend your time for your kid, right? There is nothing harm in it. But when you join back, right? When you are officially signing up, when you are officially signing in, right? You have to work on par with the men counterpart, because most of the domains, right, where we do work today has nothing to do with the muscle power, right? And there are women who are very strongly built, even sometimes stronger than men, but let us not take exceptions. Always we say that we are physically weak, men are physically strong. But do we use our muscle power today in teaching, in research? No, right? We are working with our brain. So this is my personal feeling. We are not supposed to take excuses or any reservations just because of my gender. If I have medical illness, let me take a leave. That is quite common for both male and female, right? And motherhood needs some special privilege, and that is why there are, designed designated leave, maternity leave, child care leave. You just go with it, right? But when you are on duty, when you are taking responsibilities, right, you are supposed to manage both. If not, better say no when you are given a responsibility, right? If you accept, you have to think how best I can do it. There's nothing that I am a woman, I am given a responsibility. Anyhow, if a male member is there, he would be expected to do more, but I have my own limitations. These are some mind blocks which still make us not, which still make our counterpart to think that we are not on par to them, right? So I feel this is one hindrance, right, from a woman. So we do have some such ideas which pull down us. So that's why you see the first two questions. It's not that you have to decide always your home budget, right? But you should be having a freedom or a space, right? I won't even use freedom. You should have a space. If not, you create your space to say that you have some suggestions and you have a views. As excellently told, somebody had messaged, it's always a sharing business, right? You're sharing your life. You're sharing your living space, right? Then why not you share your ideas, right? Be it married or unmarried, take off all that. A family is residing in a house. We say that a house is made a home just because of a woman over there or because of a man and a woman who live there, right? We share our food, we share our sleep, we share our living space. But when it comes to certain ideas and maybe rights, right, that also should be sharing. You need not dominate. You need not say that you have to obey what I say. But you should, there is a very yellow line difference, right? In establishing your views and to impose your views, right? So I want you people as well, we, right? I should not say you. I want women to establish our ideas rather than imposing, right? That is a difference. So that is why I took those two questions. When you say you are contributing, you are doing an excellent job. But at the same time, you should also have some mindset that I should be given a space to share my suggestions. Sometimes you may be taking a decision, sometimes you need not, right? Because it's an additional burden. You can sometimes believe your counterpart and leave off that decision. Okay, you take a decision, let me be free from this problem. That is good sometimes, right? Not always you should hold everything and make your mind completely occupied with all these. That's not necessary, right? But you should create some sort of space to just tell boldly what you feel, right? That may be ending up in a decision or not. It's up to the situation. You cannot generalize. Similarly, see, how do you manage your finance, right? And here it's a tricky point which I had in my mind before I framing this question. It is not about your decision-making capacity or it is not about your domination. It is about a talent, right? I hope you all remember the Rajini film, how to spend, I forgot the amount. Is it 100 crores or how much? I'm not sure. I think Annamalai, right? Dr. Josephine, can you help me? I forgot. But I don't know how much amount.
1,000 crores, madam. 1,000 crores.
Thank you. So, see, earning is a different talent, but spending is another different talent, right? So spending means literally spending, saving, buying assets. Managing your finance is really a very good talent. We have to develop it. Why women are not given that responsibility in your houses, right, is many of us don't develop that talent. How many of us are very aware of the share market? Many of us don't know, right, what it means to be a stock, right? How does this value of the stock increases? You see, when you approach towards year end, the trend of the stock market is different. When you approach towards the financial year end, the trend is different. When there is a war somewhere at the corner of the world, Indian stock market is getting affected, right? If you see the gold price and the petrol price and the oil price and the other stocks, there are relationships. They are interconnected, right? We like to select the design from a jewelry shop and we just love to wear it and go to a function. But how many of us track what is the rate of 1 gram gold today? Why it is increasing? Because festival seasons are impacting, but that alone is not going to impact the gold rate, right? So it is something which Indian women, if you see, even I would be very specific, South Indian women are more attracted towards gold and precious stones. If you see North Indian women, they don't invest much in gold, but they go for some other, their taste is somewhat different. And if you go abroad, they just wear a very thin chain and just a small stud and they just move on, right? But their interest is different. There is nothing wrong in wearing jewelry more, or there is nothing wrong in not wearing it. But we are very much interested in going to jewelry shop, selecting a piece of necklace or something, but we don't mind what is the rate, what is the wastage, right? How these people are making money using the taste of women towards gold. What is the impact of the gold in the stock market? How many of us are spending time, right? We all will say we don't have time, right? We all will say we don't have time. It's not necessary that daily or intraday trade is not necessary for us. It's not our profession. Of course, I accept. But at least 1 hour to 2 hours in a week, right? When you are just lying down, you can just scroll. There are many apps for understanding about stock market, right? Of course, it is like gambling when you do it daily. I do accept. That's what I'm telling this point. Intraday trading, right, is of course a gamble. But you should be smart enough in that gamble if you want to make money. If you are not smart, if you don't have experience, then it is better to wait to gain experience. Go for a small scale investment, right? There are very, small cap, large cap and middle cap. There are many different categories to invest. There are short-term investments, there are long-term investments. Some shares, they do give dividends, right? So there are shares which have a long-term. If there are certain shares which you are not supposed to sell at the earliest, you have to wait at least for 1 year. There are certain shares which you should not wait for 1 year. How to learn about this? Have you ever Googled, right? You can just see the trend. And if you look at the stock market, the Indian GDP, the Indian economics has an excellent close relationship with the stock market. Because see, if you see the trend, earlier infrastructure development was going on its peak in India. At that time, if you look at the Tata Steel stock was very high, right? And then if you see the trend, then the public sectors were given IPO status. And now if you look at recent back, that is some 6 months back, BHEL was having an excellent increasing graph in the stock. But now the government is trying to sell LIC, right? That is already in pipeline. And many people are afraid of next, it may be BHEL or BEL. And now there is a stagnation in BHEL stock. And similarly, banking. Some 2 years back, banking sector was in an excellently increasing graph. And you know very well, last year it was just in the valley, right? They call it bull, right? So when it increases, they call it bull, and now it goes in. You know, S-Bank was just drastically, S-Bank came down because now there are some policy decisions in reframing the banking sector. So some private banks are being closed, some banks are being merged. So this will definitely impact the investors in the stock market, right? So you need not be a stockbroker. You need not go for an online trading on the same day, because intraday trade will give you lots and lots of benefits. But you should be smart and you should be an expert. Till date, I do like stock market monitoring. I do invest, but I have never gone to that stage of intraday stocking, right? I never go with intraday trade because That's, as you say rightly, it needs lot of smartness to estimate, right? Because morning, if a share is, the value of a share is 10 rupees, and evening, if it is 12 rupees, you have to invest at least 50,000. Only then you will get a marginal gain. If you just buy 10 shares in the morning, right, of 12 rupees, so 10 shares of 12 rupees, it's hardly 120 rupees. If you sell it in the evening for 15 rupees, right, hardly you will get 40 rupees, 50 rupees. That's not going to have a very good hike. But you have to invest more for intra-trade share, right? But it has a lot of risk factor in that. So you have to go for updating yourself, right? And that is why I put a question, do you gossip? Because women are commented that women are well known for gossiping, right? But there are plus and minus in that, right? Because people need outlet. You're not able to talk about family members in front of them, right? So you find out an outlet when you meet your friends or when you meet your colleagues. So there's nothing harm in it, right? So unless otherwise you hurt anyone because of your gossip, there's nothing harm in it. But you should not be well known for gossiping. You should not always gossip. That is where the difference lies, right? But there is a positive point when you gossip about politics, when you sit and chat about economics, you chat about stock market, right? You just talk with your colleagues, male colleagues or female colleagues, how the market trend changes, right? And I would always suggest when it comes to friendly interaction, always it should have a gender balance. Of course, we can share a lot among the same gender, right? And understanding level might be more or better when you share some of your personal issues to another woman. But if you have equally good male friends, right, you will have lots of chances to come out of this gossiping mindset and discussing about politics, discussing about technology, right? Exactly. Gossip is not chatting, right? So you can always chat with your male colleagues, you can always chat with your male friends, right? Chatting is always required, right? And you should have a balance in your friendly group, in your chatting group, so that you will just get to know more and more of avenues, and you will try to understand your counterpart or your other gender in a better way when you move with more of the male friends. And you will have more chances to talk about vehicles, automobiles, the recent trends in the vehicles, which company is going for automatic vehicle, when EVs, right? So these are all the areas where normally men sit and chat. So when you enter into that group, initially we don't know anything and you may be made fun of. But when you gradually discuss with them, you will automatically get lots and lots of avenues, which we commonly, when few women are there, which we don't focus on. So this sort of mindset should be there. It is not women empowerment when you say that I am supreme, I know everything, whatever I talk is right. That is not women empowerment. Actually, that is ignorance. That is what I would say. It may sound harsh, but it is exactly ignorance. Because some people very proudly say, I don't manage my finance. It is just money comes to my account and then my husband operates it with the password. There's nothing wrong in it, right? I don't mean to say it is wrong. That shows your belief, but you always have your own rights to tell your suggestions, right? So long as it goes as a friendly manner, so long as it goes in a sharing, and at the same time, you should also be knowing the password of your counterpart. Then there comes your position. If you feel that is a burden, why should I add that burden also, money management also? Then it's well and good. You just share that responsibility to your counterpart and you can be free, right? But there's nothing wrong in knowing about the investments. You should know what is the difference between an FD, rate of interest, and SIP. How many of us talk about SIP? How many of us talk about mutual fund? Because in the advertisement itself, they say it involves risk. Of course, everywhere we have risk. And I hope you remember Dr. Krishna Paul was telling, not taking risk, it's the biggest risk. If I am right, it was spoken by Krishna Paul. So let us take risk, but with some knowledge, right? Without knowledge, if you take risk, then that is overconfidence, somewhere we may slip off, right? So there are lots and lots of excellent. Financial literacy can also be a tool of women empowerment. Excellent. If people believe, one line statement is, when people believe you are really knowledgeable, when you have stuff, definitely you will get respect, right? This is applicable to teaching profession. When I started my teaching profession, I was just 22. Even before MTech, I was working in a college for 1 year. You won't believe I used to be just half of this structure, right? And there were polytechnic students who had come as a lateral entry. Age-wise, they were elder to me. And I still remember I was given electrical machine design and high voltage engineering, 2 subjects when I joined. It was the very few toughest subjects. See, electrical machine design, right? Excellent. Dr. Premalata was sharing this. Not taking risk is the greatest risk. Thank you, Ms. Swarnalata, for pointing it out. So electrical machine design is one of the toughest subject, right? Because many people would fail, and in a private institution, I hope you know, producing result is very, very important. And high voltage engineering is a very good subject, but it's of more theoretical. So when they were waiting, some new goat will come and we can just give this subject, and I was the scapegoat, and I was given these 2 subjects. And you won't believe, high voltage was for final years. Even regular student was just 2 years younger to me, and there were some lateral entry students. They don't even get up to ask doubt. And they were just planning to throw me out of the class in the first 1 month, right? Because that was a very, very naughty class and mischievous class. And we used to have communication engineering subject, and ECE people will come and offer that. And there was another young colleague of mine who came from ECE department, and at least once in 2 days, they will make her cry, right? So this was the class situation, and I was just entering into that, and they played to the maximum possible limit to irritate me. But it took 1 month for me to be patient enough. Every day I took it as a challenge. I'm not here to boast that I'm an excellent teacher, but I had a temperament balance, right? I asked my seniors about the class. I had a mental preparation. I thought I should put lots more effort, and I should make them realize that I do have stuff. I am preparing seriously for the class. And you don't believe, till date, I do have communication from those guys. I was working in 2001 to 2, they were in final years. Yeah, final years, right? So now they hardly 1 or 2 years younger to me, and some are elder to me. And till date, I do get communication somewhere in Facebook, or somebody track my phone number and call me and say, how are you, ma'am? Do you remember our class? And many of them have completed their PhD and they are in teaching, and they ask guidance. So to that transformation, it was possible, and we became more friendly, right? It's all because that I made them to believe that I am taking the profession a bit serious, and I am preparing. It's not a cakewalk, or it's not an easy job to go and stand before a group of young minds of 60, 70, and you cannot blabber something, right? Excellent. I had this in BIT Noida, took behavioral balance and literal content. Exactly. So behavioral balance is very, very important for a woman, both at house as well when you come out, right? You will have arrows, from all directions. Nothing is going to happen if you lose your temper. It will still worsen your situation. We should be always, it is there inbuilt in a girl, the crisis management. But we have to realize that and believe, right? That is why the societal setup still is in patriarchal. That is, you are born and brought up in a house, and then after marriage, you just adopt another house. That adaptability and the guts to face this is basically an inborn nature of a woman, right? So we have to realize that you can understand anything. Initially, it may take some time, because it's not because of your gender, but it's because you're new to the field. The same as economics. Economics is just such an excellent area where, unless otherwise, even though you're working in the field of economics, it's not possible to understand the nook and corner. And I do feel every engineer should have an idea of economics. Be be it your professional, be it your profession gets a transformation into teaching field, or you are a field engineer, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, you may be a field engineer, you may be a teacher, but if you enter into an engineering field, you definitely should develop your knowledge on economics. Say, I'll just give always a very small example. You may be a design engineer, right? You're designing a machine, or you are designing some package. Suppose the cost of the machine, right, say is 10,000. Now you have an accessory for the machine without which the machine will not work, and the accessory is also designed for 10,000. Your product will never go in market, right? You will never be able to sell your product because there should be some idea and there should be some, focus on the economics. And you should think of all sectors of the society, right? When you design a machine of 10,000, who is affordable to pay that, right? What is the purpose of that machine? Just for lifting a small tool, nobody will come forward to invest 10,000 and buy a machine. It's not possible, right? So economics matters a lot. Be your profession, be a design engineer or a testing engineer, whatever it is, right? You have to say a testing tool, if you design for 20,000, which is used for testing a machine of 5,000. What's the use of that testing tool, right? And you can be in a position to design a machine of 99% efficiency, but you have to spend 50,000 for that, for just a small application. Again, marketing will fail, right? So it is applicable in your research, in your design, everywhere. Knowledge on economics is very, very important. It can be starting from home and to the level of societal and everywhere, right? And yeah, I was asking something as, do you own assets, right? And that is not just to say that you should have property of your own. That is not my intention. It was just to say that, again, linking this point to managing finance, right? And coming to this, do you manage gifting to your relatives, right? So we talk more about women empowerment, equality, this, that. But when it comes to family, are we really matured enough to handle such situations, right? I don't want the answer in the public domain. You can just think of it. Don't we enter into a circle that this is my relative, let me spend. That is your relative, you spend, right? So this sorts of mindset will definitely make our circle much more narrower, right? You are going to attend the function, right? And you want to attend the function, you want to expand your circle. There is no point in just narrowing down your points of view. That is what my point, right? So everything is related to economics. If you want to make a child smile, right, you have to spend at least 50 paise or 1 rupee to buy a chocolate, right, or an ice cream, right? But how frequent you buy that and give to the kid, that matters, right? See, sometimes some kids, always with kids, they feel really happy with a very small items, right? They don't know the value for money. But when you grow up, right, we just run behind the materialistic issues and materialistic world, right? But there is a lot of understanding in that even, right? The value for money, the worth, right? There is a difference between the words value and worth, right? It can be a very small gift gifted to you by your loved one, but it really worth a lot. It may be for 10 paise. It may be, of course, nowadays we don't have 10 paise. It may be for 1 rupee or 2 rupees. But when it is gifted by a lovable person or a very person who is very much important to you, we know the worth, right? Sometimes we say it's not that worthy, right? So value for money is different from how worth it is. We do have to focus on this. That is what my intention of today's right? That is what my focus, right? So economics is not something else that our finance minister will take care. Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman will decide. No, every woman should talk about economics, and we are dealing with economics, right? So this questionnaire will definitely help you to understand where you are. If you have scored less, there is nothing to feel bad, right? You have to see why this is happening and where it is happening, and let us try to patch up, right? So that's all from my side about this questionnaire, and I would like to listen to Dr. Josephine because she was noting down something. I think she has something to share.
Yeah, thank you, madam. That was a wonderful questionnaire. And parallelly, even I was noting down or the yes and no's from my side. So before concluding the session, I have taken the gist of the points what madam has so far discussed and the answers whatever the participants were giving here in the chat box. So looking into it, there are few points that I've noted down, and I hope this might help you to make yourself much better. So it's teamwork. You learn and I learn and everybody of us learn here. Daily learning is a part of the thing what we are facing. Like we should learn daily on a daily basis. It's not just learning something electrical or electronics. It's the life lesson that every one of us learn, and first empowering us, then empowering other women and uplifting the betterment of the nation. So the first point is the gist of the points that I have mentioned here. Those who have the indirect contribution at home. So make yourself create a space of moving from the indirect aspect to the direct aspect in your home. So that is the first point. So the indirect should move to a direct contribution in your house. The contribution may be any kind of contribution, not just financially, or even in the decision making aspect. So moving from the indirect to the direct aspect in your home. So naturally, this will contribute to the direct contribution to the society. So once you are directly into the society, societal benefits, societal upliftment, naturally what you do is you contribute directly to the economy. So that is the ultimate thing. Then we always search for role models, right? We always search for role models. Now what we would like to do is, we need not have a fan base. We need not go at somebody on someone's being we need not be a fan of someone. Create yourself as a role model. You create the role model, because there are no role models to look at people at economy. Ma'am talked about Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, the one powerful woman. When we talk about economics, we cannot leave her name at all. We need not be if we are not in a position to talk about economy, if we look at role models like them, we can empower ourselves to be also a much better role model. Let us take anybody as a role model who is really creating a positive impact in all our daily lives. So being a role model, you look at a better role model, you yourself create yourself as a role model. Then think what you are suited for. Being a woman in economy, think yourself what you are suited for. You see, it may be any sector. It may be a dairy sector. It may be a farming sector. It may be an automobile sector. It may be an electrical or electronic sector, or a civil sector, or A to Z. It may be any sector. You know your uniqueness. See, I may not know about you, or you may not know about me, but I know about myself, what I'm much suited for. So you create an impact in yourself, what you are suited for. Revamp yourselves internally. The ideas what you choose, that is the ultimate barrier we all have. Clear your vision in a betterment, in a better way. Whatever area you are suited for, think that. So that is what you are going to do, contribute to yourself and for a woman being in an economy. Next, as madam mentioned, break the stereotypes. It is not wrong to talk to a male counterpart or male colleague, or even discuss about, as an example ma'am mentioned, in an automobile sector or so. Let's talk about the clutch control. Let's talk about the brake control. let's talk about the accelerator. How does it move? What does it make? Let's talk about the recent electrical vehicle trend. Let us not only discuss about the jewelry. Let us not discuss about the beauty parlors. It's all for us to discuss about the stock exchange. It is up to us to discuss about the automobile sector. It's up to discuss about the research that is being in Jupiter. It's not about here, or it's about everywhere. Make yourself happy. So break the basic stereotypes, which is a barrier in your own mind. Moving next part, for every one of us here, let us learn to say no at circumstances when you are not comfortable. So that is the ultimate. Learn to say no at the places where you are not interested in any aspect. So then the next thing is, involve yourself in banking, involve yourself in finances. And the more the area, see, in case if you feel that, so this area is this, I'm not suited, so this I have a little feeling of like a disgust, like maybe I don't wanted to take up such areas. So if you you know, right, that you have a fear over that, explore that area, come out of the fear, just see what is there. Why should I fear of some area where I'm not even comfortable? But let's see what it is all about. Throw away the fear of having yourself a mental barrier of entering into a discussion of financial sectors. So the area, the more you discover some area where you really fear about, just explore what it is there and make yourself, okay, oh, it is just something, it is just a common thing. See, you are here out of your all the hard work that you have put forth, right? So it is not a harmful thing to discuss about something, not able to interact with people when people talk about the banking or SIP or the stock. If we talk about the bull is very much high today, the entire American stock exchange or Indian stock exchange or the Japanese stock exchange, let's talk about it. There is nothing harm in talking about it. So gradually you will be entering into the economical sector. The next point is, age is not a matter, right? Age is not a matter. It's the common sense that matters. So every one of you, every woman now to be here, remember that let us be 60, let us be 16. That doesn't matter. It is the common sense that matters for us to become a progressive woman. So I hope that everybody agrees with this point. Then involve yourself in a way that one day we will be inside policy making. So progressive women are one. Involve yourself in day-to-day life effectively. So one day we will be into this policy making. And as ma'am mentioned, I just wanted to add the masala item, the last, transformation. Yes, transformation is possible only if we are willing to change. Only if we are willing to change. So that transformation starts within you. That transformation is within us. It's within me, it's within you. So if you are willing to accept the changes, what we face in the day-to-day life, yes, that matters. So it's all about the common sense. It doesn't talk about the age. So this is all about the woman entering into the world of economy. Create yourself to be the role models. And when we look at aspiring role models, you just try to create your own role models by being yourself as a role model. So I wish every woman to participate much more into the economical sectors. Feel free to talk. Just talk. See, now everywhere we can browse and check what it is all about, what it is. See, if you feel that if you feel that there is a fear with something, explore that. Come out of the fear. When you come out of the fear, when you break the obstacles, when you break the stereotypes, you are already a woman into the economy with success. So thank you all for listening patiently to both of us. And I thank Dr. VK ma'am also giving a beautiful questionnaire, making us explore what we are. If we explore ourselves, I think that is the best thing we can do. And that changes a lot and indirectly or directly contributes to the economy. So thank you all. So we would like to have your feedbacks, like you can just give out your feedbacks over here. And I hope this is the beautiful chat here we all had as a woman, right? We all had as a woman. And you should always know that strong women always lift each other up. That was that is also one of the topics we had here. So strong women, right? Strong women, we lift others up. We doesn't pull the other women. So always have this in mind. Being a woman, try to lift the other woman. This gossiping, the other thing should not impact the other woman's life. You lift the other woman in a positive way. So that is what this is from my side. Wish you all the very best for you all to enter in the world of economy. Thank you all.
Madam, thank you very much for winding up in an excellent manner. So, morning, I had some collection of statistics. So, let me share that and finish it off with a small WhatsApp video. So, that because of short of time, I couldn't store it somewhere. So, my WhatsApp screen is visible. So, please manage it. So, this is, so you see, the participation, right, in agriculture, manufacturing, construction, and other industries. So this is NSSO data. So we just took it, downloaded. So this shows, you see, the change over the years, right? And this is up to 2017. And now you see in construction and the other services like transport and hospitality, there has been a drastic increase, right? And you see this tells you, sorry. Yeah, so this shows the world development indicators, right? So you see the primary sector, there is a very, very great increase because it goes up to 121%, right? But in tertiary sector, the promotion is not that good, right? And I do have a small video to play. So it was also
They had
shared.
many elephants, but one elephant was very powerful, very obedient, very skillful, and the best in the fighting skills. In many wars, he was sent on the battlefield and he would return only after being victorious. He was the most loved elephant of the king out of hundreds and thousands. Time went by and the elephant started getting old. The king did not send him to the battlefield anymore, but he still remained a part of the king's team. Because whenever the king saw him, felt good, felt happy. The elephant once went to the lake for a drink. His feet got stuck in the mud there and he started sinking into it. He tried a lot, but he couldn't pull himself out of the mud. People around knew the elephant was in trouble by the sound of his screams. This news also reached the king. There was panic because everybody knew he was the king's favorite. The king reached there and all other people gathered around the elephant and made various efforts to get him out. But there was no way out. It was not some small animal, it was an elephant. In the meantime, an old retired minister from the king's court was passing by. After understanding the situation, he spoke to the king and suggested that the battle drums be played around the lake. The listeners found bizarre. However, as soon as the drums of God started ringing, there was a change in the behavior of the troubled elephant. The elephant slowly stood up and then pulled himself out of the mud on his own. Everybody around was shocked. There wasn't a lack of physical ability in the elephant. Just the need to infuse enthusiasm within was required, and that was done. To maintain enthusiasm in life, it is necessary that humans maintain a purposeful thinking and mindset and do not let despair dominate. Now, why did I tell you all this story? In today's challenging times, we all need to infuse enthusiasm in ourselves and the people around us. By playing these battle drums, we need to celebrate abundance of good health, joy, happiness, love, and we have to stop talking about these tough times and how these tough times have been treating us. There is a lot of good happening, guys. We have to see it. And let's be grateful for it.
Yeah. So am I audible?
Yes, madam, you're all audible, right, ma'am? It's
So
done,
that's
right,
all.
ma'am?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's all from my side. So I think
Yes.
we can
Yes.
open the forum for discussion and we can proceed.
Thank you, Kirthiga ma'am and Josephine ma'am, for making the session highly interesting. It was absolutely intriguing and motivating. Also, I thank participants for your active involvement throughout the session. And if participants are having any queries and if you want to discuss something, please raise your hand or put your queries in the chat box. So I think there are no questions. So
Shall we have a group photo? Is it possible to enable participants to switch on the camera?
Yeah, one question can be seen. If madam, if your partner is reliable, is it absolutely necessary to know about finances? Yes, the answer is yes. See, it is not about being reliable or not reliable. Slowly, that if the partner, the reliable partner turns to be a non-reliable partner over a period of time. So initially, the necessary finances needs to be discussed. So if there is a healthy discussion throughout, if the partner though reliable or unreliable, it is necessary for you to become greatly involved. So that finances aspect, yes, you should talk about.
Yeah, and moreover, that's a good point of view. The other one is, see, I was always insisting, you need not take full control.
Yes,
That might be or might not be, but
Yes.
there's nothing harm in knowing about what's happening. That is what the main focus. So if your partner is reliable, one responsibility is done there, right? You can free it off. Why to cook up your mind and fill it up with all avenues, right? That's not necessary, because that is another mistake what we women do. We don't get easily satisfied that if we have to delegate work, right? So there is nothing harm in leaving it off completely to your partner. That's between you and your partner, right? But it's always good to know about what's happening. That is what the point. You can delegate, but not necessarily be ignorant. There is a difference.
How to draw a line between wrong and right regarding mental harassment at workplace? Yes. See, this mental harassment is a point like you will feel that, right? Inside you will feel that it is not okay. So that is the alarming moment. You does not need a right and wrong line. Your brain gives you an instinct like it is not good. So that is the play. It need not be a workplace. It need not be a house, or it need not be a social moving or not. It can be any place. Mental harassment is a point where everybody should be aware of. If you don't feel that it is not right, you stop it there. That's it. You need not draw a right and wrong line, because wrong and right line is different for different people. So if you feel that you're not okay with this, stop it. That's it. It is up to you. It is completely, you are the one who is going to take charge of that particular situation. So mental harassment, so it varies from A to B. So you need not draw a line. You completely, if you don't feel it is not okay, yes, don't do that. Or stop the person who is doing that. That's it. I wish to hear the comments on Mrs. Sitaraman, ma'am. Yes, absolutely, no doubt. What is the thing? She is the best finance minister and she deserves to be that. Yes. Anything else?
No, actually, we cannot skip this question, because she has rightly pointed out, because we say you have to talk politics, and now we cannot diplomatically say that let's not talk politics. I don't want to contradict my statement.
Yes.
So there were hinges. See, from my point of view, there were mistakes in her finance ministry. So I am, because I am being a citizen of India, I am paying tax, and I do have all rights, unless otherwise I use abusive words. I have all rights to point out whoever may be the finance minister. If there are some issues which I feel that's wrong, I have rights. I don't want to skip off this question. So I was just waiting for Dr. Josephine to talk about. So there were mistakes, and this is from my point of view, because I'm not a professional economist, but there were mistakes, there were drawbacks, but she was able to come out of that and to cope with that. So if you openly ask me, I have more respect, and I do have I would say I would grade that foreign minister, sorry, I'm not getting her name, Sushma Swaraj, right? So I do have much more regards to Mrs. Sushma Swaraj when you compare with our finance minister as Mrs. Sitaraman. There is no political party attached to it. I'm just looking upon her as a finance minister, and I was expecting more. When she took over a finance ministry, I was expecting more, because a woman being a finance minister, I personally expected she could have done better, but there were disappointments. So I do accept it openly, but I don't want to attach the gender point over there. This could have happened even if a male member was there. So this is really what I felt, and I don't want to escape. And that's what I say. There was so much of maturity, and there was much more crisis management, creative thinking. All this I could see in Mrs. Sushma Swaraj much more when I compare with Mrs. Sitaraman. So this is my honest answer. And of course, she has applauded me. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Anything else to be discussed here? Yes, I think we shall wind up the session. We'll be having the session by 11:30. Yeah, Varshini, you can just announce that.
Yes, ma'am. So the next session will start at 11:30 a.m. So you can take a break of around 25 minutes. And I request all the participants to join the next session on time. Thank
Ms.
you.
Vaishnavi, is someone taking snapshot? Is it possible for the participants to switch on the camera? See, because in Attain we have to upload. Is it possible to make? Yeah.
I need to make everyone as a panelist, only then we
So
can make it.
maybe very few. Whoever has answered there, you can make 2 to 3 people as panelists, and just we can wind up.
Yes. Because we need a group photo to be uploaded in Attain portal. So in between, we need people to switch on the camera, and we need a group photo.
Yes. Yeah, we'll make Dr. Anuradha, Dr. Meenakshi Chowdhury, Dr. Sri Lakshmi. You made it. Yeah. Now people can.
All the people can please turn on your camera.
Banu, no problem. You can also switch on your camera. The only guy in the workshop, I hope so.
Yes.
You can intimate once it is done.
Yes, ma'am, I have taken the snapshot.
You can take with as many as possible.
Okay.
Sindhija, you can switch on your cameras.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you all for it was
Thank
really
you all.
very interesting, and everyone participated. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.